Welcome to a journey to discover some of the most captivating natural wonders of the Netherlands, a country where fairy tales come to life, and every corner whispers stories of centuries past. Picture this. A land where emerald waterways wind through villages, so picturesque they seem painted by the masters themselves, where traditional windmills still dance with the wind as they have for over 400 years, and where charming fishing villages preserve the authentic soul of Dutch maritime heritage. The Netherlands, often called Holland, sits like a precious jewel in northwestern Europe, bordered by Germany to the east, Belgium to the south, and embraced by the North Sea to the northwest. This remarkable nation, much of which lies below sea level, has transformed its geographical challenges into breathtaking beauty through human ingenuity and harmony with nature. What makes this land truly magical isn't just its stunning landscapes, but the living, breathing culture that flows through every canal, every cobblestone street, and every traditional wooden house. From the medieval charm of ancient fishing villages to the engineering marvels that have kept the sea at bay for centuries, the Netherlands offers a tapestry of experiences that will leave you spellbound. Here's a question that might surprise you. Did you know that without the ingenious Dutch water management systems, 2/3 of this beautiful country would be underwater? How do you think this constant relationship with water has shaped not just the landscape, but the very soul and character of the Dutch people? Before we embark on this amazing journey together, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't want to miss out on future adventures. And don't forget to check out the amazing deals on flights and accommodation that I've secured for you in the link below. Your dream vacation to the Netherlands is just a click away. Now let's explore the most beautiful villages in the Netherlands. Giethoorn. Welcome to Giethoorn, affectionately known as the Venice of the Netherlands, though I'd argue it's far more enchanting than its Italian counterpart. Nestled in the heart of the Overijssel province, Giethoorn sits within the pristine De Weerabbenweeden National Park, about 120 kilometers northeast of Amsterdam. This extraordinary village spans across a network of lakes, canals, and waterways that were formed over 1,000 years ago by peat miners who dug deeper and deeper into the earth, eventually creating this aquatic wonderland. The village stretches along a 7-kilometer waterway, with most of its historic center accessible only by boat or on foot. What strikes you immediately about Giethoorn is the profound silence. No cars, no traffic noise, just the gentle lapping of water against traditional wooden boats called whisper boats. The local culture revolves entirely around water, with families passing down boat handling skills through generations. Every morning, you'll see residents commuting to work by boat, children paddling to school, and elderly locals tending their waterside gardens from their personal vessels. Giethoorn's story begins in 1230, when a group of religious refugees, the Flagellants, discovered this peat-rich area. As they excavated peat for fuel, they uncovered countless goat horns from wild goats that had died during floods centuries earlier, hence the name Giethoorn, meaning goat horns. The distinctive long, narrow plots of land you see today, called cope, were created by these early settlers who divided the land in strips running from the high sandy ridge down to the lower peat areas. Giethoorn is the historic village center, where 18th century farmhouses with their distinctive thatched roofs line peaceful canals. Museum Giethoorn Old Imat Ooze offers fascinating insights into local life, housed in 4 historic buildings. The Giethoorn Reformed Church, dating from 1961, replaced earlier wooden churches and stands as a testament to the community's enduring faith. Don't miss the boat rental stations along Binnenpad, where traditional whisper boats await your command. Giethoorn enchants visitors with its car-free environment, 180 wooden bridges, traditional thatched roof farmhouses, and the unique experience of navigating life entirely by water. It's a living museum where 2,620 residents maintain centuries-old traditions while welcoming the world to experience their aquatic paradise. Zaanse Schans. Step into the 17th and 18th centuries at Zaanse Schans, where the golden age of Dutch industry comes alive against a backdrop of emerald meadows and azure skis. This isn't just a tourist attraction. It's a living, breathing testament to Dutch ingenuity and craftsmanship. Located just 15 kilometers north of Amsterdam in the municipality of Volandum, Zaanse Schans sits on the banks of the Zaan River in North Holland province. This strategic location made it the heart of the world's first industrial area during the Dutch Golden Age. The site encompasses 40 hectares of preserved landscape, with the iconic windmills positioned to catch the prevailing western winds from the North Sea. Zaanse Schans represents the essence of Dutch innovation, using wind power for industrial purposes centuries before the world thought of renewable energy. The local culture celebrates traditional craftsmanship, with artisans still practicing age-old techniques of wooden shoe making, cheese production, and pewter casting. Visitors witness the rare sight of craftsmen working as their ancestors did, creating products using methods passed down through generations. In 1961, this open-air museum was established to preserve Zaan region's industrial heritage. During the 17th century, over 1,000 windmills operated in this area, making it Europe's first industrial zone. The windmills powered sawmills that provided timber for Dutch shipbuilding, oil mills that produced paint and food oils, and various other industries that fueled the Dutch Golden Age. Today's 8 remaining historic windmills were carefully relocated here from throughout the Zaan region. The star performers are the authentic working windmills. De Cat, the cat, produces traditional paint pigments. Het Zshans shop, the young sheep, operates as a sawmill, and De Zoker, the seeker, processes oil. The Zshans Museum showcases the region's rich industrial history, while traditional workshops demonstrate wooden shoe carving, cheese making, and clock manufacturing. The historic houses, painted in the distinctive Zaan green with white trim, now house fascinating museums and shops. Zaanse Schans offers an authentic glimpse into Dutch industrial heritage through 8 working historic windmills, traditional craft demonstrations, historic green wooden houses, and museums that celebrate the ingenuity that made the Netherlands a global power during the Golden Age. Markin. Imagine stepping onto an island where time moves differently, where traditional Dutch costumes aren't just for tourists but part of daily life, and where every wooden house tells a story of survival against the sea's mighty power. Welcome to Markin, one of the Netherlands' most authentic cultural treasures. Markin sits in the Markermeer, formerly the Zuiderzee, connected to the mainland by a 2.5-kilometer causeway built in 1957. This former island, located 20 kilometers northeast of Amsterdam in North Holland, remains largely isolated, preserving its unique character. The village is built on artificial mounds called werven that were created over centuries to protect houses from flooding, giving Markin its distinctive elevated appearance. What makes Markin extraordinary is that it's not a museum. It's a living community where traditions thrive naturally. Local residents, particularly the older generation, still wear traditional Dutch costumes during festivals and special occasions. The distinctive marker costume, with its intricate lace caps and colorful skirts, varies depending on marital status, age, and even religious denomination. The local dialect marker is still spoken by many residents, maintaining linguistic traditions that date back centuries. Founded in the 12th century as a fishing community, Markin has survived countless floods, including the devastating St. Elizabeth flood of 1421. For over 700 years, residents lived as islanders, developing unique architectural solutions and cultural practices. The characteristic green wooden houses, built on stilts or artificial mounds, showcase ingenious flood-resistant design. When the Zuiderzee Works project created the IJsselmeer in 1932, Markin's fishing industry transformed, but the community adapted while preserving its essential character. The Markin Museum, housed in 6 traditional smoke houses, displays authentic costumes, furniture, and fishing equipment. The iconic Paard van Markin Lighthouse, built in 1839, offers panoramic views across the IJsselmeer. The harbor area, Haven Buet, showcases traditional fishing boats and waterfront life. Don't miss the characteristic wooden houses along Kirkbuet and Ketz, where each building demonstrates unique architectural adaptations to island life. Markin captivates visitors with its authentic traditional costumes, distinctive green wooden houses on stilts, living cultural traditions, and the remarkable story of a community that has maintained its unique identity for over 800 years while adapting to changing times. Kinderdake. Prepare to witness one of humanity's greatest battles against nature, and see how the Dutch not only won, but created something breathtakingly beautiful in the process. Kinderdake stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Monument to human determination, engineering brilliance, and the Dutch mastery over water. Located 15 kilometers east of Rotterdam in South Holland, Kinderdake sits at the confluence of the Lek and Noord rivers in the Alblasserwaard polder. This low-lying area, much of it below sea level, represents the heart of the Dutch Delta, where managing water flow determines the survival of the land itself. The 19 authentic windmills stretch across this polder system, creating one of the world's most photographed and iconic landscapes. Kinderdake embodies the Dutch saying, "God created the world, but the Dutch created the Netherlands." The local culture revolves around the concept of polder mentality, the idea that survival requires cooperation, consensus, and collective responsibility. Water boards, democratic institutions that predate the Dutch parliament, still manage water levels here. This represents one of the world's oldest forms of democratic water governance, where community survival depends on working together. The name Kinderdake, Children's Dyke, comes from a legend about the Great Flood of 1421, when a wooden cradle with a baby and cat was found floating near the dike. The 19 windmills were built between 1722 and 1761 to drain excess water from the polder into the river Lek. This ingenious system of windmills, pumping stations, and drainage channels has protected the area for nearly 300 years, evolving from wind power to steam, then diesel, and now electric pumping stations. Each windmill represents a masterpiece of 18th century engineering, capable of lifting water 1.5 meters. The system includes 8 mills at Overwaard and 11 at Nederwaard, working in sequence to move water from the lowest areas to rivers that can carry it to the sea. Museum Windmill Nederwaard offers insight into windmill technology, while Museum Windmill Blaquier demonstrates how entire families lived inside these working mills. The Visitor Center provides fascinating exhibits about Dutch water management throughout history. Kinderdake showcases 19 authentic 18th century windmills, represents 1,000 years of Dutch water management innovation, demonstrates remarkable engineering solutions to living below sea level, and stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site celebrating human triumph over natural challenges. Delft. Welcome to a city where Johannes Vermeer painted his masterpieces, where Delft blue pottery has adorned royal tables for centuries, and where William of Orange changed the course of European history. Delft seamlessly weaves together art, science, history, and innovation in ways that will leave you absolutely mesmerized. Delft sits strategically in South Holland, positioned between The Hague, 8 kilometers northwest, and Rotterdam, 14 kilometers southeast. Built along the Sky River, this compact medieval city covers 24 square kilometers and benefits from numerous canals that once served as vital trade routes. The city's location in the Randstad metropolitan area has made it a center of learning and innovation for over 400 years. Delft's culture centers around the perfect marriage of art and science. This is where the microscope was perfected, where Vermeer created some of history's most beloved paintings, and where Delft blue pottery became synonymous with Dutch artistry worldwide. The city maintains strong traditions in both technological innovation, home to Delft University of Technology, and artistic excellence. Royal Delft pottery continues 400-year-old techniques. Founded around 1100, Delft gained city rights in 1246 and quickly became a brewing and trading center. The city's destiny changed in 1584 when William of Orange, William the Silent, was assassinated here, making Delft the burial place of the Dutch royal family. The Great Fire of 1536 and the Delft explosion of 1654, a gunpowder accident, destroyed much of the medieval city, leading to the beautiful 17th century architecture we see today. Johannes Vermeer lived and worked here his entire life, creating masterpieces like Girl with a Pearl Earring in his studio. The Nieuwe Kerk, New Church, houses the tomb of William of Orange and offers spectacular city views from its 108-meter tower. The Royal Delft Pottery Factory, established in 1653, remains the last original Delft blue pottery factory where you can watch master painters at work. The Vermeer Center explores the life and techniques of Delft's most famous resident. The historic market square, surrounded by Gothic and Renaissance architecture, hosts vibrant markets twice weekly. The Prinsenhof Museum, former monastery where William of Orange lived and died, now showcases Dutch Golden Age history and artifacts. Delft enchants visitors with its connection to master painter Johannes Vermeer, world-famous Royal Delft blue pottery, the tomb of Dutch royalty in the Nieuwe Kerk, cutting-edge technology at TU Delft, and perfectly preserved Golden Age architecture along tree-lined canals. Volandum. Volandum, where traditional Dutch fishing culture thrives alongside international fame, where every corner offers a photo opportunity, and where the spirit of Old Holland welcomes visitors with open arms and traditional costumes. Volandum sits on the shores of the IJsselmeer, formerly Zuiderzee in North Holland, just 20 kilometers north of Amsterdam. This picturesque fishing village stretches along a 2-kilometer waterfront, protected by traditional dikes and surrounded by green polders. The compact historic center clusters around the harbor, where traditional brown-sailed boats called botters create a scene unchanged for centuries. Volandum pulses with authentic Dutch fishing culture that has adapted beautifully to modern tourism. Local residents proudly wear traditional costumes, women in colorful striped skirts and lace caps, men in baggy pants and caps, not just for tourists, but as expressions of cultural pride. The village has produced numerous famous Dutch singers and remains a center of Dutch folk music. Local families still pass down fishing techniques, boat building skills, and cultural traditions through generations. Originally a small harbor serving the nearby town of Edam, Volandum developed its independent identity in the 14th century. The village thrived on herring fishing and eel catching in the Zuiderzee, until the 1932 of Sluitdijk transformed the salt sea into the freshwater IJsselmeer, fundamentally changing local fishing practices. Rather than decline, Volandum reinvented itself, becoming one of the Netherlands' most visited destinations while maintaining its authentic character. The harbor front buzzes with traditional fishing boats, waterfront restaurants serving fresh eel and herring, and shops offering authentic Dutch souvenirs. The Volandum Museum showcases local history, traditional costumes, and fishing heritage through fascinating exhibits. The famous cheese factory demonstrates traditional Dutch cheese-making techniques. Don't miss having your photo taken in authentic Dutch costume, a Volandum tradition that has delighted visitors for over a century. The fish smoking houses still operate using traditional methods, creating the distinctive smoked eel that made Volandum famous. Volandum offers authentic Dutch fishing village atmosphere. Residents who proudly wear traditional costumes, working fishing boats in a picturesque harbor, traditional fish smoking techniques, and the unique experience of stepping into a living postcard of Old Holland. Liss. Welcome to Liss, where every spring the earth transforms into the world's most spectacular natural canvas. painting millions of visitors' hearts with colors so vivid they seem almost surreal. This is where Dutch horticultural mastery reaches its absolute pinnacle. Liss sits in the heart of the dune and bulb region in South Holland, positioned perfectly between Haarlem and Leiden. This area, known as the Ballenstreek, benefits from sandy soil and mild maritime climate ideal for bulb cultivation. The famous Keukenhof Gardens, covering 32 hectares, sits within Lisse's borders, surrounded by endless fields of tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths that create a patchwork quilt of color stretching to the horizon. Lisse's culture revolves around the flower bulb industry, which has shaped local life for over 400 years. Families pass down horticultural knowledge through generations, creating new tulip varieties and perfecting growing techniques. The annual flower parade, Bloemenkoers, represents community pride and artistic achievement, with elaborate floats decorated entirely with fresh flowers. Local festivals celebrate not just flowers, but the deep connection between people and the land that produces such beauty. Tulips arrived in the Netherlands from Turkey in the 16th century, and Liss quickly became central to their cultivation. The region survived the famous tulip mania of 1637 and evolved into the world's flower bulb capital. Keukenhof Gardens opened in 1950 as a showcase for Dutch flower growers, transforming from the former kitchen garden. Keukenhof means kitchen garden of Jacoba van Beeren's 15th century hunting lodge into today's world-renowned attraction. Keukenhof Gardens explodes with 7 million flower bulbs planted annually, creating themed gardens, art installations, and photography opportunities that attract 1.5 million visitors during its brief 8-week spring season. The Museum de Zwarte Tulp explores the fascinating history of tulip cultivation and the social impact of the flower trade. Castle Keukenhof, though not open for tour, provides a romantic backdrop to the gardens. The surrounding bulb fields offer cycling routes through seas of color, while local nurseries welcome visitors to learn about flower cultivation techniques. Liss showcases the world's largest flower garden at Keukenhof, with 7 million blooms, demonstrates 400 years of Dutch horticultural expertise, offers spectacular tulip field cycling routes, and celebrates the cultural significance of flowers in Dutch society through festivals and traditions. Monnikendam. Discover Monnikendam, a perfectly preserved medieval gem where time seems to have paused in the most delightful way possible. This small city offers an intimate glimpse into authentic Dutch history, away from the crowds but rich in character and charm. Monnikendam sits on the shores of the Markin in North Holland, approximately 15 kilometers northeast of Amsterdam. This former Zuiderzee fishing town occupies a strategic position on what was once the main water route between Amsterdam and Friesland. The historic center clusters around the old harbor, with medieval streets radiating outward from the central market square, creating an intimate urban landscape perfect for walking exploration. Unlike more touristy destinations, Monnikendam maintains authentic small-town Dutch culture. Local traditions include annual fish festivals, traditional boat races, and community celebrations that haven't changed significantly in centuries. The town's 4,000 residents live and work in historic buildings, creating a genuine atmosphere where visitors experience real Dutch daily life rather than a tourist recreation. Founded around 1200 by monks, hence Monnikendam, Monk's Dam, the town received city rights in 1355 and quickly became an important fishing and trading center. The distinctive Carillon Tower, built in the 16th century, still chimes hourly over the medieval streets. Monnikendam's golden age prosperity is evident in the beautiful merchants' houses and the impressive Groot Kerk, Great Church, with its remarkable interior. The Spieltoren Carillon Tower from 1591 houses a 17th century carillon and offers panoramic views over the Markermeer. The Oud Radhuis Old Town Hall showcases medieval architecture and local governance history. St. Nicolaaskerk features beautiful stained glass and centuries-old artwork. The harbor area preserves traditional fishing boats and offers peaceful waterfront walks. The local museum displays artifacts from Monnikendam's maritime past and explains how the Zuiderzee works changed local life. Monnikendam provides authentic medieval Dutch atmosphere with well-preserved 14th century architecture, traditional harbor life, intimate small-town culture, historic Carillon Tower concerts, and peaceful exploration away from tourist crowds. Urk. Prepare to meet some of the most resilient people in the Netherlands at Urk, a former island community where ancient traditions remain vibrantly alive, where fishing culture runs deeper than the surrounding waters, and where every stone tells a story of survival against impossible odds. Urk occupies a unique position in Dutch geography. Once a rugged island in the turbulent Zuiderzee, it's now connected to the mainland in the province of Flevoland. This remarkable transformation occurred through the Zuiderzee works, which turned the salt sea into the freshwater IJsselmeer. The village sits 4 meters below sea level on what was once the highest point of the former island, surrounded by some of the youngest land in the Netherlands. Urk maintains one of the Netherlands' most distinctive and preserved cultures. The local dialect, Urkers, sounds completely different from standard Dutch and remains the primary language among residents. Traditional fishing practices continue, with local families operating fishing fleets that supply fish markets across Europe. The community's strong Protestant faith shapes daily life, with Sunday observances that close most businesses and create a peaceful atmosphere unique in modern Netherlands. For over 1,000 years, Urk existed as an isolated island where 300 residents developed their unique culture, dialect, and survival strategies. The community survived medieval storms, political upheavals, and economic challenges through extraordinary cooperation and determination. When the Zuiderzee works connected Urk to the mainland in 1939, many predicted the end of local culture. Instead, Urk adapted while fiercely protecting its traditions, becoming a testament to cultural preservation in the modern world. The museum Het Oud Rodhuis provides insight into island life before the land reclamation. The harbor area showcases modern fishing operations alongside traditional techniques. The Amelebbemelesje, a lighthouse and remnant of the old sea dike, offers stunning views and historical perspective. Local fish shops and restaurants serve the freshest seafood, often caught by boats you can see in the harbor. Traditional costume workshops and cultural demonstrations show how Urk maintains its heritage. Urk offers the remarkable experience of visiting a former island community that maintains its unique dialect, traditional fishing culture, strong religious traditions, authentic local customs, and the inspiring story of cultural preservation in the face of dramatic geographical change. Zierikzee. Our final destination brings us to Zierikzee, a medieval masterpiece that stands as one of the Netherlands' most beautiful and best preserved historic cities. Here, every building is a work of art, every street a passage through time, and every moment a reminder of human creativity and ambition. Zierikzee graces the island of Schouwen-Duiveland in Zeeland province, surrounded by the waters of the Oosterschelde and connected to the mainland by impressive modern bridges. This strategic position, once crucial for salt production and trade, placed Zierikzee at the heart of medieval European commerce. The city's compact historic center, entirely surrounded by medieval fortifications, creates an architectural jewel that has remained virtually unchanged for 500 years. Zierikzee's culture reflects its history as one of the wealthiest cities in medieval Netherlands. The local community takes extraordinary pride in preserving architectural heritage, with strict conservation laws ensuring that historical integrity remains intact. Annual festivals celebrate medieval history, traditional crafts, and maritime heritage. The city's cultural life centers around its role as a museum city, where residents live and work within a perfectly preserved medieval environment. Founded in the 13th century around a small harbor, Zierikzee quickly became wealthy through salt production and trade. By the 15th century, it was one of the richest cities in the Low Countries, evidenced by the ambitious Sint Levensmonstertoren, St. Levens Monster Tower, begun in 1454 but never completed due to the enormous cost. The city's golden age created the stunning architecture visitors see today, from Gothic churches to Renaissance merchant houses. The St. Levensmonstertoren dominates the skyline at 62 meters tall, offering spectacular views over Zeeland after climbing 281 steps. The Stadhuis Museum, City Hall Museum, showcases local history in a beautiful Gothic building. The Maritime Museum explores Zierikzee's naval heritage. The complete medieval city walls and gates, including the impressive Noordhaven Port and Zuidhaven Port, demonstrate medieval defensive architecture. The harbor area combines historical preservation with modern marina facilities, creating a perfect blend of past and present. Zierikzee captivates visitors with its complete medieval city walls, the impressive unfinished St. Levensmonstertoren Tower, perfectly preserved Gothic and Renaissance architecture, fascinating maritime museums, and the extraordinary experience of walking through an authentic medieval city that has maintained its character for over 500 years. As our incredible journey through these 10 Dutch treasures comes to an end, I hope you're feeling as inspired and amazed as I am every time I visit these remarkable places. Here's my final question for you. Which of these 10 destinations spoke most deeply to your heart? And what does that tell you about your own values and dreams? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Share which place you're most excited to visit and why. Don't forget to check out those amazing travel deals I've arranged for you in the link below. Whether you're planning a weekend getaway or a longer Dutch adventure, I've negotiated special prices on flights, accommodations, and tour that will make your dream trip more affordable than you ever imagined. As we part ways today, I want to wish you excellent health, safe travels, and may your own life be filled with as much beauty, wonder, and authentic joy as the places we've explored together. Remember to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. I have so many more incredible destinations waiting to share with you.